Welcome to the Crockers Unleashed podcast. Here, anything goes. Oh shit! This is the episode that a lot of you have been waiting for, and what's it like being a twin? Well, let's just say you like eating pizza, and you go and you buy a slice of pizza, and you're like, dang. This is a good-looking slice of pizza. Then you cut it in half, throw the other half out, and you only have half the slice of pizza. That's what being a twin is like. Thanks a lot, Mom and Dad. Why did you do this to me? Jeez. So being a twin definitely has its ups and downs and lefts and rights and all that cool stuff. Growing up as a twin, I didn't know any different. I'm just being me, except there's another one always there, always there. It's yeah. I guess my thing was a little different. I grew up with a twin that was missing his leg. If you didn't know, when we were 2, about to turn 3, Jared had his leg chopped off by a lawnmower, freak accident, never saw it coming, that type of thing. So we lived somewhat of a different lifestyle, but for the most part, I mean, we did anything and everything that you did as a normal kid. But, did you have to share everything? We would share clothes and all that stuff. Anytime it was a birthday or holiday or anything like that, guess who got to share gifts? Oh, yeah, of course. We had to share gifts. We had to share all sorts of stuff. And now I'm not saying every gift we ever got we had to share, but there was a lot of times people be like, here, this is for Jason and Jared. No, listen here. It's my birthday, and I'm 2 minutes older, so I should technically get a present of my own and open it 2 minutes before Jared. This is not fair, but I guess this all boils down to my mom and dad. Stick to one round, not 2. Jeez, people. I don't think that's how that works, but that's kind of funny, I guess. So we'll just roll with it. But y'all should have stopped making love more than once. I'm very glad that mom and dad love each other, and you love each other to do it multiple times, but let's keep it at a minimum here, folks, and let's not make multiple babies at the same time, because then I have to share everything, and it's not fair. But I will say, having a twin means you're never alone. So, a lot of those things, normally kids would be like, and yes, I know that's not how you have twins, but it's just funny. Normally you'd go to school and you'd be like, oh man, I'm kind of nervous. I have to make new friends and all stuff. Well, there was always someone there. Me and Jared would both walk in together. It was never that moment of, oh man, I don't know anybody here, so that was definitely a huge benefit of being a twin and constantly having someone there. But at the same time, it sucks because you constantly have someone there all the time. You never really got the, I guess, privacy of a normal kid, I guess, to an extent. We shared a room. When we were old enough to drive, we had to share our first vehicle, which was a 92 Ford Aerostar van, the Green Machine. I think it was like a 92. It's already not popular to have a van in high school at first, and then to have to share it, that always sucked. And so, but yeah, we did have a minivan for our first vehicle, and it sucked until we started playing paintball, and then all our friends would be like, yeah, let's all go play paintball, and we'd jump in and we'd use it as kind of like a tank. And then one time, so I was dating this girl in high school, and we stayed after school, and we were just kind of there or whatever, and her dad came and picked her up, and he's like, oh, so what do you drive? And I was like, a minivan. He's like, haha, nothing to worry about with this dork. And I was like, actually, sir, the back seat folds down as a bed. And he didn't like that one. He didn't think that was that cool. No, we didn't do anything nasty and make twins in the back seat, nothing like that. It was just a funny comeback to a smart ass dad trying to downplay me in front of his daughter that I was dating. How dare you, dude? Anyways, but yeah, that kind of was that. But was it weird dating when you were a twin? Yeah, so pretty much, at this time, Jared wasn't dating anyone, but I was, and it was one of those, like, do I go on a date but take Jared with me, or do I go on a date and not? Like, I'm not really sure. So sometimes I'd go on a date by myself. Sometimes we do, like, group dates, but it was never, like, me and Jared and the girl, because that'd be weird. Now, when I got older and Jaylene and I were together and dating and married and all that stuff, Jared was there. It was just one of those things. It just became a normal thing. I think at this point in life, it didn't matter. It wasn't anything crazy. Of course, we weren't always together, but dating and having a twin, we are not the normal twins. We're, you would think like me and Jared be like, oh, let's talk about girls, let's talk about this. No, we're not like that. We never really confided in each other in certain things like that. It was more of like, hey, I got your back, someone's talking shit, I'll go fight them, that type of thing. It wasn't ever really like gossip or all that stuff. I don't know. We weren't your average twins, I guess you could say. And but having a twin in school was amazing, especially since Jared was a lot smarter than me. As you guys know, I am dyslexic and everything else that's wrong with me. Well, I wasn't the brightest kid in school. I am not good with tests. I'm not good with doing school stuff. I'm more hands-on and not really book smart, I guess. I got more of the common sense, and Jared got more of the book smart, so I cheated off him all through high school, so that was a huge plus. So having Jared in all of my classes was freaking awesome, but when we went to college, that was a nightmare, because we were just like, hey, so we're driving like 20 minutes to go to college. At this point, we were still living at home because our parents said, hey, if you go to college, you ain't got to get the boop out of here. So we just, went to school and then work. And we were hardly ever home. But we would drive to class, and then I'd be like, man, I really don't feel like going in. I didn't do my homework. I didn't read whatever I need to do. And Jared'd be like, all right, let's just skip class and go to Matt's apartment. So we'd go to Matt's apartment, skip class, wait till time was up, and then drive home. So our parents wouldn't know. And then the next time I'd be like, all right, well, let's go in class. And Jared'd be like, yeah, I really don't feel like going. So we just quit going. And I know that's terrible. And we had to pay back our parents for all the classes we failed. We needed to, and so, that was just one of those, but, being a twin is definitely crazy. I know some of you watching are probably twins, or twins, and the thing that was crazy was, there was something in the water down there, I'll say that, because in our church group with, like, the youth and stuff, in our age group, there was 3 sets of twins, which was pretty wild. And then at school, we were twins, and then the grade above us had 2 sets of twins, and then a couple of years above that, there was several twins. There was a ton of group of twins, and I know people now that have twins and stuff, and this guy I went to school with, he has twin daughters, so there is something in the water down there that produces twins. I think it's more of living in the country, and you don't get very good TV signal, so you have to pretty much come up with your own entertainment, if you know what I mean. So I think there was something along those lines, plus the water and all of that. But yeah, I don't know. People would always ask us questions like that, like, well, what is it like being a twin? Is it cool or does it suck? And it's like, man, there's definitely pros and cons, just like everything. It's like, there were times when me and Matt, my older brother, were closer. There was times when Jared and Matt were closer. There was times when me and Jared were closer. There was times when me and Jared would fight Matt, and it was awesome having a twin on your side. So there's a lot of hit or miss things when it comes to twins. I think the thing, when I don't remember how old we were, but my mom made an agreement with herself and said when they get to this certain age and they say, hey, I don't want to dress alike anymore, she wouldn't dress us alike. I don't remember what age that was, but I think it was pretty early on. And we evolved into our own people to an extent. And just because you're a twin doesn't mean you need to do everything the same. We did a lot of the same. We played every sport there was the same. We, would skate and ride bikes and play hockey, like just street hockey because we didn't have ice down in South Texas. All that stuff. The thing that was weird was we had all the same friends. So if we got invited to like a sleepover or a party, it was always... It was a 2-for-1 type deal. It was never like, hey, can Jason come over but not Jared? Or, hey, could Jared come over but not Jason? It was always both. And to an extent, that probably hurt us from hanging out with friends for like sleepovers and stuff, because now the parent has to deal with 2 kids and not just one. But I don't think it really hurt us that bad, because I remember a lot of sleepovers at friends' houses and then people come to our house, stuff like that. But it was just very interesting, to say the least, to have a twin. And then now in our more adult years, we definitely do our own thing. Jared lives in the Dallas area. I live up here in Oklahoma. And now he's definitely considering moving off grid, kind of part-time and all that. So it's funny that it's almost like no matter how hard we try to escape, we can't escape each other. It's just the way it is. And I do think there is a bond. And it's like I said earlier, that we have definitely had each other's backs forever. I mean, we could totally hate each other. We could be at the point where like, I can't be around you any longer. And if one other person comes walking in and talking crap, the other person will stand up and be willing to punch him right in the throat. And so it's pretty cool. I mean, I know a lot of people have that with like brothers and sisters and stuff, but there's just something about being a twin that just instantly you have that bond of, all right, I can talk trash about this person, but you're not. And then, people would always ask too, can you think? Do you all have the same thoughts? Can you read each other's minds? And I can't read his mind. He can't read mine. But I think after being around someone for so long, you really do start to have a lot of the same thoughts and stuff. And it'd be really weird that sometimes I'd just be sitting there, I'd be thinking about something, and Jared will ask me the exact same question. I'm like, what? Like, that's weird. And then, he's done it with me, and there'll be times, even, being far away, I'll be thinking about something random, and then Jared will text me like, hey, blah, blah, and I'm like, this is insane. Like, this is very creepy, very weird. But after, now 35 years of this, it's not anything that I'm not used to. So it's weird. No, we can't read each other's minds. Nothing of that nature. But when you're around someone for so long, you do start to have the same type of mindset. You have the same type of interest and questions and, remarks and stuff like that. There's a lot of times that, we talk and we could finish each other's sentences. It's not that we could read each other's mind. It was just when you're around each other for so long, it just kind of is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely interesting being a twin, and definitely interesting being a twin as an adult, because we definitely have our own lives. But there is a lot of stuff that is still kind of together in an extent. But I think that's just kind of who we are. I definitely know twins that are like inseparable, and we are not like that. Jared and I need our own space. We do not want to be around each other all the time. We do not agree on everything. We do not have the same visions and stuff like that. We do to an extent, but not so much. One of our best friends growing up, he has some younger sisters, and they're twins, and I can't tell them apart. I literally cannot tell them apart. They are identical twins. Jared and I are fraternal twins, so we do not look the same. Yeah, not at all. It always goes back to people think me and Matt are the twins, or Jared and Matt are the twins more than me and Jared are the twins. So it's always funny. But yeah, they are the spitting image of each other, look-wise and personality-wise, and everything about them is the exact same. And they literally, this is the funny thing, is one of them got their driver's license, the other one couldn't pass the test. So they literally said, screw it, it doesn't matter, we'll use the same ID. And I think that's freaking hilarious. You have beat the system. You have totally beat the system with one ID, and no matter which one's driving, you just use the same ID. No matter which one is buying alcohol, you use the same ID. No matter what you're doing, you could use the same ID. You just can't be in the same place at the same time trying to do the exact same thing. So that's freaking funny that twins can get away with that. But yeah, I don't know, I just randomly thought of this topic, and I thought it'd be funny to kind of talk about. I wish I knew some more things to talk about, questions that you guys have asked before, or I've been asked in the past. But is it cool being a twin? Heck yeah, it is. You have someone there, you have someone that you can have a bond with, you can have someone that you kind of see the same things in life, and you don't have to do it all alone. But at the same time, you have someone there, and you're not always alone, maybe when you want to be alone and stuff. So maybe if any of you are a twin, or twins, or your kids are twins, or whatever, comment down below. I'd love to hear some stories about you guys. And did you ever mess with anybody as far as like pretending to be the other twin? Jared and I really couldn't do much of that. Sometimes in class, like a teacher or like substitute teacher, someone would be like, Jared, and then like I'd raise my hand, and they'd be like, Jason, he'd raise his hand. So little things like that weren't anything too crazy, but it was the best we could do at the time because we don't look alike. But yeah, if you guys are twins, I'd love to hear your stories, and maybe I'll touch on this again, maybe with Jared as a podcast, and we could touch more on it. So leave your comments down below what you'd like to know about us as twins and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully this kind of gets a little bit of the behind the scenes of more of me and a little bit of Jared and just growing up as a twin. So yeah, we'll see you in the next one, and possibly with my twin. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see you in the next one.